Hello and welcome to Asia TV Business Show. Today I have a guest in the studio who comes from a varied background and has achieved laurels in his field. I introduce Mr. Sudeep Sakalle, who started his journey in UK as a student and has been achieving milestones from there on. Today, Mr. Sudeep is the director of Infovinity Systems Limited. He is the co-founder of a health tech company which is focused on artificial intelligence called Preventive Care, and he is also the Vice President of UK Asian Business Council.
Thanks, Taha. Thanks for your introduction and inviting me to the studio. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you very much for taking out time from your busy schedule and coming for the interview today. Sudeep, I would like you to tell our audience today that how, first of all, you got the idea of coming to the UK, whether it was for education or whether it was for anything else.
Well, that's see, there are two things. Nothing is strange. As a student, as an aspiring, you can say so-called young entrepreneur, there's always, back from India, people think that there are far more opportunities available in UK or USA. So initial interest came from there. Whereas when I was doing my first master's degrees, I did get a chance through a friend to work on a project based in a Cheltenham-based company, and we did some projects for them. Then I thought, like we are getting good flow of projects from there, why not go to UK, complete our education my education at the same time, find more projects really. So that was one of the biggest reason for deciding where to go. And UK being as a top priority, so either education or opportunity. That has got me to.
So not the US, not New Zealand, not Australia, but where the projects are. So I'll go after the projects and get some money from there. No, I understand.
Could be, that's how it started. So first project actually came via UK. So it was recommended through a friend. But then ultimately, doing that project, delivering it, and then continuing it. So that guy actually, while I was in university, he hired us.
Okay.
So me and one of my friends. We thought, it's better, why not to, if there's an opportunity, why not to explore it firsthand and go there.
Okay. So tell me something about how did you plan to start your own business, or how did you think of going into the entrepreneur route rather than going for a job or like other people do?
Well, again, I think it was a series of events actually, if I say for myself, it was series of events that has got me into job. So it got me into setting up my own business. As I said, this was an introduction project, which I wanted to do, expand my team. So I started with this one project. Then we were having a lot of time while we were getting good income. As a student, if you are getting £300-400, £500 in India, it was a good income at that time in 2003-4. So we thought it's better to outsource this work that we are getting and find more. So we started, me and one of my friend Prakash, we started getting more local projects. But
is this when you started your company, Infovinity Systems, or was it
Infovinity Systems Private Limited? Yeah, no, it was prior to that.
Okay.
So, but we were working sort of more as a freelancers. We were working on our own. But in 2007, once things got more serious, that's where we have started our company in India.
India. Okay. And you have been winning projects ever since 2007.
Exactly.
Which has been now 10 years.
It's 10 years now.
Wow,
yes.
That's a commendable job you've done there. And you've always, in these 10 years, you've always been in London, or have you traveled out to any other place to, talk about projects or anything like that?
No, we are focusing all over the UK. So London is where we get most of our projects from. But if you look, the opportunities out there around maybe, starting from Reading to York to to different places, like all over the UK. We have got
great.
clients, and
Wow.
most of our work, it comes through recommendation, which
Okay.
is
Word of
like
mouth.
word of mouth,
Yeah.
and that's where like our focus is, because pushing out like pushing out marketing emails,
Mhm.
thousands of emails is an easy thing, but you ultimately do not end up getting the trust.
Right.
Where you have got one customer, and if you deliver top-notch service,
Mhm.
you are far more likely to get another recommendation, and this is one of the biggest asset that we have so far in last 10 years, and that has actually got us
Very
into this state that from last 10 years we are able to achieve more projects and deliver it then.
That's very good. And you've given me an insight into your company. Is there a particular client you could talk about, given experience, a good experience, maybe a bad experience at the same time? So, our audience can listen to you and get the ambitions right.
Well, what I would say is no opportunity is small or big. Recently, like from last 3.5 years, we have got a client where it started with fixing a very, very small thing on their website. So the challenge that they were facing is their Google AdWords was not properly configured, so they were not able to get maximum out of it. We started working on one project, then it was a series of projects, and they are one of the biggest paying clients for my company. They're paying probably in 6 figures, really.
That's really something you have achieved there. I must say congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
So again, for our young audience, people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, businessmen, could you state any kind of challenges that you faced while setting up your business?
Well, what we have learned after this 10 years of running this company, and from the business, because I do not come from a business background. My parents are in service.
Okay.
My grandparents, no one actually in my family, entire family tree probably has done a business ever before.
Okay.
So when I started business, it was sort of a nuclear bomb at my place. Like everyone was thinking, like like you should be going for Infosys or for companies like this. You have got job offers. Why you are dropping it off and starting your own company? And then once you have completed the degree, what's the point of going abroad and doing another one? But all these things, it is because. I guess there was no sort of a hand-holding as such for us in terms of getting into business. We made a lot of mistakes. Biggest one was not setting up a company as soon as possible.
Okay.
Second is you have to start think like a company.
Okay.
Because as I said, we started in 2004, and for the initial 3 and 4 years, we were doing as a freelancers,
Okay.
which has really, we haven't made any progress. It was always short-term goals that we were trying to achieve,
Okay.
and then we couldn't, we couldn't capitalize as much as we wanted in the initial years.
Okay.
Looking back, it was a good experience that has made us always, not to repeat those mistakes. But then again, it could have been saved. So the only challenge, or the only one piece of advice I would say I would give to anyone is, if you are thinking of a business, if you are thinking, be very clear on whether are you a freelancer, then act like a freelancer. You just look at number of hours that you are working, and that's job done and dusted. So you come and you finish the job, you don't care much more about the project. But if you are thinking like as a company, you have to focus on what is important for your client. And if he succeeds, then only the project succeeds, and then only you will make money. True. It will never come before than that.
True. So for our audience, you're saying that if they have an idea, they should register a company straight away to build a business on that, rather than spending time as a freelancer.
Absolutely. And in fact, and that has got us into, in my introduction, you have mentioned that I am also a vice president of UK Asian Business Council.
Yes.
That has, the primary reason of setting up a business council or being a part of a business council is to help companies like this, where the type of mistakes we have made, we'll try to avoid, even if it is from anywhere in the world. We are, with UKABC, we are working with almost 27 countries.
Wow.
All over the world.
That's amazing. Wow.
So India, Asia is our focus, but then recently we have started working quite a lot on African countries and African continent as well. So we help people from everywhere to set up their own businesses. We have got provisions here where, like expert consultants who can help them. And it's not fortune that is, like it's not that they're going to bill in thousands and thousands of pounds. Most of the help is easily available. A lot is freely available.
Okay.
It's just a matter of just asking.
Yeah. So again, I'll tell our audience today that there is a lot of information available out there which is for free. And you can always get in touch with Sudeep. He is with the UK Asian Business Council. You can Google it, you can find it online. And I'm sure Sudeep will be more than happy to help you in setting up your business or even taking your idea to the next level.
Absolutely.
So you never worked in a full-time job, or have you?
I did actually.
You did?
I did.
Was it difficult to quit your full-time job to go into business, or?
No, it was a decision, like you have to take one day.
Okay.
So while in my full-time job, I was working for a consultant company. It is an education consultant company, also focused on property education.
Okay.
So over there, we were running loads of IT systems, like for a property company, a property education company, it looks like very difficult thing as such, but purely they were marketeers. Okay. So they are one of the top, what you can say, sought after property consultants in the UK, and the systems that we have developed, that has actually got me into thinking that whether, like if we can do it, this type of thing, which has really quadrupled the revenue for this company. This is a small company. Yeah. For many other companies, we can do the same actually, and that's where we, like me and one of my business partner, we thought let's just start getting into bespoke and customized development, application development. Okay. So coming from a very technological background, and then learning and crossing the curve of this marketing and experience in sales, I thought it's best that we set up our business in a way where we can target and we can help small businesses as such. Okay.
So you had your eyes and ears open and you saw an opportunity and you grabbed it. So
which is preventive, yeah, yes, absolutely, yes.
So it's a very good thing. I mean, again, I will tell our audience that, when you're in a job or whenever you're doing something, you always gain experience from things that you do. So the best thing is to keep your ears and eyes open, and whenever you get a chance, be like Sudeep and start a business of your own. There's nothing like being your own boss. It's a brilliant thing. My next question to you is, I mean, the point is, being an Indian, it's not, or I shouldn't say Indian, being an Asian or being a non-Britisher, it is very difficult to find jobs. So, how did you manage to overcome this issue?
Well, you're right, like in many ways, it's not just about your race, it's about how you communicate. And that is one of the biggest learning for anyone to do is as such, like if you're coming from any developing country, whether it's India, whether it's anywhere in Asia or wherever you are coming from, it's if you are not coming from an English-speaking country, you need to consider you don't have to, like you shouldn't be converting your local dialect into English. That's one of the biggest hurdle. I have seen people, like in my company, in a lot of other IT companies, that is one of the biggest challenge. They are brilliant programmers, but they fail to communicate and they fail to understand what a business needs. Okay. Whereas when you have asked whether coming from UK, coming from India, or coming from any developing countries, well, it make a difference. That's a real, or you can say that's an honest answer. How you overcome is with your confidence. You have to be committed to your customers.
Right.
Once they see the commitment, they don't care.
Okay. So guys who are listening to us right now, you should pick up some of the things that Sudeep said. It's about communication, it's about confidence, and it's about commitment. If you have these three things, I'm sure your business will succeed. Again, developing countries have opportunities, but why do you think people still are coming to the West to find jobs or businesses? Give us some idea.
It's a mixed thought now these days. It's not that the opportunities are not there, but the sort of help specifically available, say you can say in UK for technological advancements. Like there are two type of users of technology. Like my background is technology, so I can primarily answer from the technological startups or from the technology companies. Is in India we have got a great user base, but they are still not willing to pay for innovation.
Okay.
Over here, like in UK or in USA or any developed country, they try to save a lot of time by innovating things.
Okay.
And that is one of the key difference for service or product companies to look for these countries.
Right.
So when in India, though the market dynamics are changing, in China market dynamics are changing. People, they are innovating products there and using it there and then.
Okay.
But still quite a lot of innovation and quite a lot of process advancement is going through developed countries.
Okay.
So
while we are at the innovation part, I want to bring this up because I've learned that you're a co-founder of Preventive Care.
yes.
And it's innovation in the healthcare industry. How did you come across this kind of an idea? How did you realize that there is this space available in the healthcare industry where artificial intelligence and technology can come in?
Okay, it's great. It's great that you have asked. When I was talking about this, one of my biggest customer, what we did for a small company, it's a reasonable size company, it's a SME. For what we did for them is we have enabled one of their product to start communicating through our Google Cloud platform that we have developed. So we have developed a application platform for them, which has further enabled their customers to remotely monitor a lot of their silos.
Okay.
So, say for example, there's a big sugar company which has got a contract with 30 different factories to deliver sugar, which is one of the biggest companies in the UK. And they wanted to actively monitor what is the stock levels at their client sites.
Okay.
Right now, the company I was talking about, they develop these load cells which fits in underneath the silos, and they can actively, so they are sort of a big capable weighing machine, capable of weighing 100,000 kg.
Right.
But the display was local. What we did is we created a platform where this information can be shared with the customers. So now sugar company can, in a single control room, look at all the 30 or maybe 100 sites that they have, at what site, what rate this product is consumed, and then they can make a decision on delivery and when to send the truck to deliver or what is the schedule. It has also got us generate more alerts as well. So it's not someone has to actively look into this system, but our system is capable of sending alerts automatically. So that has enabled us learn quite a lot in terms of remote monitoring and vendor managed inventory, which is preventive in terms of it saves time and money, both. From this learning of 2.5 years, we realized that there's a big gap in market in healthcare, which is everyone. So there's a growing aging population. By 2040, 1 in 7 in the UK would be 75 plus.
Wow.
So which is a known fact. It's great news for companies who are looking into healthcare market, because as we are getting the aging population,
Yeah.
it's all over the Europe as such.
Okay.
It's what you can say. It's because of the baby boom after Second World War, and now that baby boom has converted into aging population.
Correct.
So going forward, the type of companies or the type of products that they would be consuming is more geared towards their requirement.
Okay.
Government in the UK, they are spending quite a lot on care market, and majority of their expenses are in social care. Still, there's a huge demand. So following Brexit, I don't know what is going to happen. There's still quite a lot of presumptions out there, but there is one definite fact that the requirement is out there. So what we did is we identified that market gap. We created a platform where care home staff can actively monitor without inserting any sort of a privacy invading cameras. So what does it mean is, in a simplest terms, we created a device which is connected with sensors. It will be sent to you on a post. You plug in that device, and we will monitor your movement, your environmental variables, maybe temperature, humidity, what is the sort of light available in that room, and based on that, we will create alerts of your well-being.
That's
so
very interesting.
That's the focus of this project.
Okay. Sounds like you've got your hands full then. You have a lot of things going on. You have Infovinity, you have UK Asian Business Council, and you have preventive care.
Well, they are all complementary to each other. So Infovinity is technologically very focused on creating applications, and the application development part is being handled by Infovinity. With preventive care, we have got a very clear focus of resolving this automated remote monitoring system for healthcare. So that's where we are focused on.
Right. And how did the idea of, because the whole world is now talking about artificial intelligence, chatbots, robots, this, that, and the other. So how did you think about bringing in artificial intelligence as a factor into this preventive care product that you're doing?
Well, so collecting information is not just one objective. So what you do with this information is far more effective or far more important than just collecting the information. One can ring up someone and find out whether they are alive or not, or whether they are moving or they are not moving. What we are doing is, once we have collected this information, so say if I have plugged our sensor into a care home or into someone's, say, bedroom. Now, if that room is having this sensor, what we are doing is we are learning your patterns. So say if someone wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's regularly being getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning from last 3 weeks, whereas now, today until 6:30, there is no movement, there would be an amber light. But it could be, like it's one-off. But then if there is no movement until 8:30, then there is something to worry about. So our system the artificial intelligence application will automatically learn their pattern and generate these alerts on a fly. So we can prevent a lot of things. So a lot of, we did some research, and we found out that there are products available in the market which people they can wear. So they can have a Fitbit, or they can have a lot of wearables for alarming someone, for calling someone for emergency, this and that. But nearly about 60% of them, they are never, they are not even taken out from their packaging. And the remaining 40% which is being used, another 50% of those is still not in use. So they've been used once or twice only. So wearables is not the answer for resolving these sort of problems. People, they have started putting up cameras, but they invade your privacy. No one likes to be in a big boss house all the time. So the solution that we are developing is, it is very invasive. It just fits in like your smoke alarm. So no one will really as such notice. And at the same time, we are not listening to you. We are not looking at you. We are just identifying your movement, we are collecting them, we are learning a pattern on top of it,
Right.
and then we are sharing it with your someone who cares.
Right.
So that's the artificial intelligence has now enabled us to achieve this thing.
Okay.
We can also, not just about your well-being, we can also tell something if something is going to happen. So say if you move from point 1 to point 2 in usually within 3 seconds. So
Right.
say if someone gets up from bed
Yeah.
and goes to kitchen,
Yeah.
and he does this in 4 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because we are monitoring it from the sort of a top level,
Yeah.
so we can identify that, okay, this guy started from this point, and within this period of
Yeah.
3 seconds or 5 seconds or 10 seconds,
Yeah.
he's going there. Now, but today you are taking 15 seconds. Another day you are taking 25 seconds.
Right.
And then you have gradually started taking 30 seconds, 35 seconds. We
Right.
can probably identify that there is something wrong,
Sure.
whether you are about to get a fall.
Yeah.
Like if it depends on
Yeah.
what is your condition.
True.
So fall prevention could be, like identified in advance,
Okay.
and that can be prevented.
Okay.
So the reason we are calling ourselves as preventive care is we will try to deliver these alerts before something happens.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
so definitely when something has happened,
Yeah.
we would tell you that, okay, your temperature in your
Right.
room is quite high,
Right.
but we will not tell you once it has reached 30. We will tell you when it started from 18 to 19, 19 to
Right.
20,
Okay.
20 to 21. So
Right.
our alert system is focused on preventive levels.
Okay. So every time something changes, the pattern changes, you inform.
We
And
inform, yeah.
These alerts are going in the form of.
Okay, so it started from, there are 3 possible ways we can alert. So we can send email, we can
Okay.
send text messages.
Okay.
There is a mobile application that we are developing,
that's
so it
very
will be
interesting.
automatically popping up.
Very good.
Just like when you get a message on WhatsApp,
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
pops up.
yeah.
And then if there is a severity is very high, it will be an automated phone call as well.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
So you have different levels of escalation, and if there is no action, then
escalation would be followed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does this also help people who are providing the care? Like care
Yes.
providers or old age homes or the councils, which are now, they're being squeezed with the budgets. The government is taking away money from them. Is this going to help people like them?
It is absolutely in alignment with their business model. So in a nutshell, like if I draw a line, we have got 2 very clear propositions to offer. One is care as a moral responsibility.
Okay.
So someone is caring for their parents, their in-laws, to their uncle, aunts, or anyone as a moral ground,
Yeah.
which is it's not their obligation, but they are doing it. And one is care as a responsibility, where you are taking a responsibility of taking care of someone.
Right.
So when it comes to care as a responsibility, which is delivered through care staff, to
Yeah.
doctors, to
Yeah.
GPs, to local council, what we are doing is we are creating and we are enabling a platform which a care staff, so say if someone is in domicile care,
Yes.
and so domicile care manager is responsible for making sure that send a care staff to the highest priority location at the first.
Yeah.
Because we know what is happening there,
Yeah.
because we are telling what is coming out,
Right.
and based on alerts, they can make their decision. But not only that, our mobile application, if their care staff is carrying it,
Yes.
they can look into what exactly is their current location.
Right.
In fact, we have gone up to an extent where we can tell them this is the shortest way. So if
Wow.
there is a congestion in a road,
Yeah.
and there is an urgent destination they have to be there,
Right.
we will compare all the possible routes and we
Okay.
will tell them, rather than taking this route, why
Right.
don't you go
Right.
and change the route?
So basically, you are streamlining the operations for care providers.
Absolutely.
Taking out the hassle of calling or messaging or emailing someone saying change this, change that.
Yeah.
Everything will be coming on the application.
Coming on the application,
That's
and then also the time logging as well.
Okay.
So because we know where the patient is,
Yeah.
because we have got a device there as well, and the care staff, once they reach there,
Yeah.
if the location matches, our system automatically will log them in.
Okay.
That okay, this care staff has visited this facility, and that's where he is right now, and that's the next job.
Okay.
So he will get an alert. He don't have to log in, punch card, and all these things. It will be based on his location.
Okay.
So it's all automated.
It's the Uber of healthcare.
It's a Uber of healthcare, yeah.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So Sudeep, I'm sure your hands are full. You have so much going on. But are there any more future projects that are lined up? Anything else that you're thinking of doing at the moment?
Well, we are, as a company, as Infovinity, as preventive care. So with preventive care, the focus is very, very defined. We are very precisely focused on providing healthcare solutions, remote monitoring applications. As Infovinity, we are focusing on two things. One is Internet of Things, and another one is artificial intelligence. And that's where majority of, like if I would say, how mobile has changed life in last 5, 7, 10 years, Internet of Things and artificial intelligence is going to change another 10 years.
Wow, that's very interesting. So, I mean, do you have a message for our audience, the young entrepreneurs who are out there, budding businessmen who are out there and they want to do something? Do you have anything you would like to say to them?
Well, one thing if I would like to say is, see, there is quite a lot of help out there available. It's just a matter of asking and taking help, really. So don't be afraid of asking any organization like UKABC or any organization, or maybe like people out there. Just don't be afraid of asking for help. People, they love to help usually. Like it's if you are looking for setting up your business, or if you have got an idea and you want to convert that into a successful business proposition, first thing that you have to do is to just start. And if you are like getting stuck, just ask for help.
So, guys, I think what Sudeep is trying to say is, don't be ever afraid to ask a question, because till the time you don't ask a question, you will not know the answer of it. And sometimes you think that you had the moment to ask the question, but that moment has passed. So with that, I will say thank you very much, Sudeep, for your time. Thank you very much for coming to the studio.
Thank you, Taha.
And audience, I will see you soon. Thank you for watching Asia TV Business Show, and we will be here next week. Thank you very much.